I'm the Scrub and you're here for one reason. The fiery bird has jumped to conclusions and is completely insulted that we are compared to her long-lost love. Not to say that I've already saved the realm twice, but who's counting? And she's begun to lose her mind and her senses while challenging us to battle. So naturally we must fight to the death and restore the primal sanity. It's the only thing that works apparently. Time to learn about Hell's Kier. Simplified. When you zone in, there will be 4 motionless red birds on the ground. Keep this in mind for later. Cremate is a tank buster. Suzaku will then cast Eternal Flame. This will awaken all of the red birds. They will tether to the DPS and follow them around while also giving them a burns debuff for as long as the ads are alive. The DPS will need to group up in the middle of the room and everyone will need to burn the ads down as quickly as possible. I highly recommend that you kill the ads in the middle of the arena. While you are destroying the ads, Suzaku will target a random party member with a large conal AoE called Fleeting Summer. If you don't get out of this in time, it will give you a Vuln stack. Screams of the Damned is a room-wide AoE. Suzaku will then cast Phoenix Down and a bunch of Scarlet Plumes will drop into the arena and become targetable. They will get their own medium-sized circular AoE and start casting Wing and a Prayer. When this cast finishes, it will explode the AoE and give a Vuln stack for every AoE you are standing in, and any dead red birds that are in the AoE will wake up with 10 stacks of HP boost. This is why we kill the birds in the middle of the arena, so you can destroy the middle feather and not worry about respawning any of the ads. If an ad is left alive for too long, it will cast Ashes to Ashes. If this cast finishes, it will explode, give everyone the debuff of Suppuration, and have the damage to potentially wipe the group. So you absolutely cannot ignore the ads. Eventually, Suzaku will move to the middle of the room and cast another Eternal Flames before creating a design on the ground with 8 small circles around the outside while disappearing from the arena. A bar labelled Scarlet Melody will appear. Each player will need to stand in one of the circles and get ready to play Dance Dance Revolution. An arrow will appear at your feet. Just after the arrow appears, orbs will spawn on the outside of the arena and slowly move into the middle. If you turn your character to face the direction of the arrow, it will glow underneath you. Continue to face this direction until the orb touches the middle of the circle you are standing in. If you have done this correctly, you will gain a stack of damage up. If you have done this incorrectly, the orb will be absorbed by Suzaku and the Scarlet Melody bar will increase. If the bar fills up, Suzaku will wipe the group. There will be 2 sets of singular orbs, 1 pair of orbs one after the other, and 1 triple set of orbs back to back to back. You'll need to quickly adjust your character's direction to match the arrow between each orb. When 7 sets of orbs have happened, Suzaku will perform their ultimate. The arena will change into a donut-shaped arena with no walls on the outside and a hole in the middle. This hole is quite easy to fall through, so tanks make sure that you stay in the middle as much as possible so melee can hit their positionals correctly on Suzaku. Southron Star is a room-wide AoE. Ruthless Refrain is a knockback from the middle of the platform. It will knock you a little more than halfway towards the outside, although knockback immunity does nullify this, so you'll need to get closer to the boss to avoid being pushed off the arena. Phantom Flurry is a multi-hit tank buster immediately followed by a large 180-degree cleaving AoE towards where the tank was positioned. Tanks will need to take the Phantom Flurry while also moving towards the sides of Suzaku to avoid the massive AoE. If you get hit by the massive AoE, it will knock you back off the arena. However, you can use knockback immunity to avoid the massive pushback if you won't make it out of the AoE in time. Suzaku will then turn to a random party member and cast a straight line AoE called Well of Flame. Just get out of the AoE to avoid being hit by it. If you get hit by this, it will give you a Vuln stack. Suzaku will say "Hearken to my melody" as the Phoenix rises out of the arena. The arena will change into 4 different colored quadrants: pink, black, yellow, and blue. The Phoenix will reappear and tether to Suzaku. Large colored icons will appear around the arena with the same colors as the quadrants. As the Phoenix moves around the arena, it will run into these colors on the outside. When it does, the quadrant of the same color will explode. If you are still in this quadrant when it explodes, it will stun you, give you a Vuln stack, and toss you into the air. Mechanics like Well of Flame and Ruthless Refrain can also happen while the quadrants are exploding. When the Phoenix's flying has concluded, the arena will return to normal. Suzaku will cast an Incandescent Interlude which will spawn in 4 meteor towers either on the outside of the arena or on the inside close to Suzaku. Suzaku will also give every player an AoE marker. You will need to spread these markers out to avoid overlapping them. When the AoE markers go off, at least 1 player will need to be standing in each tower to soak the damage of the tower. For every tower that is missed, it will give the entire party a Vuln stack. A bunch of Phoenix will spawn on the outside and create straight line AoEs through the middle of the arena with Well of Flame. If you get hit by a bird's AoE, it will knock you back and possibly knock you into the middle hole of the arena or out of the arena, so avoid them as best you can. The next Hearken to my melody will spawn a set of 4 colors in a row. You'll need to watch which way the Phoenix is moving to see which colors will be hit first. You can wait beside the first color that will explode and move into it when it does to dodge the rest of the colors exploding. Just avoid the exploding colors as best you can. From here, mechanics will overlap and repeat until Suzaku has been defeated. Congratulations, you have defeated Suzaku. My name is the Scrub. Thank you for watching.